What is going on, TryHard Podcast listeners? We are back with another episode. I completely forgot what number this is. That doesn't matter. We're back. We haven't been back in a while, all right? It's been a minute. It's been a month. I think a month, maybe a month. It's been a minute. It's all you got to know. It's been a minute. Either way, we're back. It's been a crazy last couple weeks. Champs is over, all right? The 2024 Call of Duty season is officially in the books. It's done with. Oh, yeah, by the way, guys, if you guys hear people in the background, kids in the background, like background noise, it's my family. Typically, I record at night, but I have shit to do tonight, so I kind of wanted to get this recorded now, and then I'm going to, upload it later tonight. Whatever. CDL 2024 season is officially in the books. Optic, Texas are your CDL champions. Optic obviously won champs. We'll talk about a little bit of champs. We're going to talk about a couple things today. Nothing crazy. Just kind of doing an update of the last couple of weeks. It's been a hectic last couple of days. I actually attended champs. It was my first CDL champs. Decent experience. We'll talk about that a little bit more. We'll talk about the World Cup here in a little bit. Some of the rosters that have been announced. Kind of how that's going to look. How that's going to form out. We're just going to talk about random shit, really. We're not going to get too much in depth. We're just going to, we're going to talk a little bit. It's been a minute. I haven't talked to you guys in a while. Hopefully you've missed me. I've missed you guys. I've missed all 5 of you guys. Oh, I forgot. Hold on. We're officially back. Let me hit the gunshots. We are back. All right, we are back. Again, I forgot what episode we're on. Let me check real quick. Let me go to Spotify. Shout out to all you guys watching on YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, please don't forget that this is episode number 46. Please do not forget that if you're watching on YouTube, all right, listen. If you're watching on YouTube, please drop a subscribe. Please drop a thumbs up. All right, do that. Helps me out. Helps me out a lot. Okay. If you're listening on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure to either follow on Spotify or to subscribe on Apple Podcasts. That way, whenever there's a new episode, it'll just pop up on your phone. Easy peasy. You know what I mean? Easy money. But shout out to all you guys watching, wherever you're listening. Appreciate you guys. Again, we're going to try to stay a little more consistent with this, but we'll see how it goes. So let's get into it. Optic won champs. Congrats to them. I mean, shout out to Optic Gaming. Hold on, we'll give them a nice little. Optic Gaming are your 2024 Call of Duty League champs. Congrats to them. They deserved it. It's too long. All right, I'm not sure how to stop that. Anyway, well, goddamn, how do you turn this shit off? All right, there you go. Congrats to them. 2024 Call of Duty League champs, Optic Gaming. I'm not going to lie. I did not expect them to win it. If you've been following the Call of Duty League here in the last month or so, month and a half, Optic has looked horrible. They just looked horrible. Coming into champs, I did not expect them to do what they did, but they did it, man. All credits to them, credits to those guys. All those guys, I mean, they must have put in the work. They must have, just been grinding and not listening to the haters, not listening to the naysayers. And fuck, they did what they had to do. They destroyed everybody. Unfortunately, my team, Atlanta FaZe, Out of the top 4 teams, probably had the worst showing. Didn't the team did Atlanta just did not look like themselves. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way the shit goes. You know what I mean? We're not going to take away from what Optic did. It is what it is. Optic Gaming, they are your 2024 Call of Duty League champions. We'll talk about a little bit about the event. Champs was held in Dallas, in Texas, right? It was held at. Let's be honest with ourselves. All right, Champs was an Optic event. It was an Optic home series, right? It is what it is. That's been a big talking point the last couple of days between players and other people in the community that having a problem with Optic. Optic it was a home field advantage for Optic, right? Like, listen, I'm gonna give you my explanation. So, I get there, right? First of all, if you've ever been to any Call of Duty league, if you've ever been to any Call of Duty event, right? Any Call of Duty event ever, all the fans are Optic fans. It is what it is. That's 100% an accurate statement, right? In my opinion, 90%, maybe even higher, of competitive Call of Duty fans are our fans. They're fans of Optic, right? It is what it is. Okay. So anytime you go to a Call of Duty event, right, a major, whether it be CDL era or MLG era, any event you ever went to as far as a major LAN, it's an Optic event, right? Their fans are the majority of Call of Duty competitive Call of Duty fans. So it is what it is, right? It's just the green wall, whatever you want to call them. Like, they are fans that make up the majority of competitive Call of Duty fans, right? So you've had the last couple of days after Champs, you've had certain people, pro players, other people from different teams, coaches, kind of, voicing their opinions on how they think it's unfair that Optic got to host Champs, right? And technically it wasn't an Optic host, but it was. Like, let's be real with ourselves. On the other hand, you got to call it what it is, right? When you get there, right? You check in, you get your little fucking lanyard, whatever. They gave you this bracelet thing, right? This bracelet thing was like a little white knob on it. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I didn't put it on my wrist. I put it in my pocket. I have no idea what it was, right? I see everybody else was wearing them, right? Then I'm not sure if it was all event, but Championship Sunday, I noticed at one point that little green bracelet thing that they gave everybody, right? Everybody. You didn't have to ask for one. When you checked in, they gave you one. All of a sudden, it started lighting green, right? Then I realized the entire arena who had those bracelets on was lighting. It looked cool. It looked fucking sick. It was green, right? It was Optic green. Okay. So, and it lit up when Optic was introduced, right? So, I mean, clearly it was an Optic home series, right? It is what it is. The fans, it was insane, right? When Optic came out, when Optic played, it was insane, right? But again, I like to remind people, it's like, dude, if you've been a part of this scene long enough, you know that the majority of fans that watch Call of Duty, competitive Call of Duty, they're Optic fans. I keep repeating that, but it's just like, that's the truth, right? So obviously, Champs being in Texas, right? Put 2 and 2 together, it's going to be an Optic dominated fan base, like every other event, but this event even more, right? So, I mean, it was fucking Optic fans. It was Optic fans everywhere. You saw a couple other small, number of fans for different teams, but it was an Optic home series, right? The crowd was insane. The atmosphere was insane. And to be honest with you, it helped the Optic team. It did. There's no way it couldn't have. that energy, they had to have fed off that energy. The energy was insane when they played. It was insane when they played. All right? Again, I didn't think they were going to do as good as they did. And you can't call me crazy because the way they've been playing the last couple of weeks, last month and a half, it looked like they were horrible, right? Fast forward to Champs, it was a whole different team. Okay? They fed off of the crowd, which is, they should. It's their fans, right? Now that's where the whole opinion comes in of like, why are they hosting an event? Why are they hosting Champs? That's unfair, blah, blah, blah. From what I've gathered, from the information that I've gathered, the reason why Optic hosted Champs was because they stepped up. Okay? If you guys haven't been living under a rock, you know Activision is going through some shit. They're going through a transition period because of the Microsoft transaction, right? Microsoft buying Activision. So there's a bunch of shit happening, right? That the people who run the CDL can't really control. Okay? So from what I'm told, from the information that I've gathered and some things that I've been told was the budget was different this year as far as location for Champs. Okay? Now, the people, the location the places that they're looking at for locations, when the budgets got cut, right? Which people forget that some budgets have been cut in the CDL. When the budgets got cut, that affected the possible location for Champs, right? So at that point, the CDL kind of asked the league teams like, hey, does anybody have any suggestions? Anybody have any like ideas of where we could host? And Optic stepped right up and said, we'll host them. We'll host it. Host it in Texas. We'll host it, right? So in a way, they were helping the league, right? Also understand, when Optic stepped up to host the event, no other CDL team was like, no, we'll do it. We'll do it. There wasn't, okay? People need to realize that hosting these events costs a lot of money. A lot of money. All right? Mind you, in the original return of investment for the league, when the league was founded, that was their main pitch to these Call of Duty League groups, these Call of Duty League teams, was you're going to make your money off ticket sales, merchandise, right? Obviously, things didn't work out the way they thought it was going to work out. COVID and all that shit, right? Budget cuts, all that, right? So these teams who have hosted events this year, right? Look, we saw Carolina pull out of their event, right? Because they realized they weren't going to make any money. Miami, I know, lost money, right? Toronto, I'm not sure about Toronto. I'm if they made any money, I'm sure they didn't make that much. Maybe broke even, right? So you got to understand, this was Optic kind of helping the league in a way, right? And on the league side of it, if the most popular team with the biggest fan base hosts Champs, it's going to be crazy. The attendance, right? The ticket sales is going to go out through the roof, right? The viewership's going to go through the roof, right? So it was a win-win for the league. It was a win-win for the league as far as location and venue. They got that checked off. And on top of that, the most popular team with the biggest fan base is hosting the event. I mean, it's a win-win, right? You can't blame them for going with Optic. And on top of that, Optic was the only team offering to host the event, right? So that whole like conspiracy of like, oh, the league wants to, no, that's really not it, bro. It's really not it. It's really not it. It's the league doing what they had to do, and kind of, it helped them out in the long run. So I don't look at it as a negative, right? Now you have players, you have, other people, kind of looking at it that way, right? But here's the thing though, is like, before the event happened, no one was saying anything. Everyone was just, I mean, I didn't have a problem with it. Players, coaches, staff of the league, teams, no one was really saying anything. So why all of a sudden is there a problem, right? What it is people are mad that they lost. This is what it is, right? And now we have to suffer the wrath of the green wall and all their followers, all their supporters, and we have to fucking listen and watch clips of the winning moment of champs for the next fucking 2 months, 3 months until the next major of BO6. All right? Thank you, New York Subliners. Thank you, Toronto Ultra. All right? Thank you, LAG, for putting us through that for the next fucking 3-4 months. All right? Thank you for that. Now, every time I go on fucking Twitter, I got to watch Dashy talking about his winning moment. I got to watch Shasi talking about his winning moment. They got the process coming out. If you're an Optic hater, you're going to hate the next 2 months of Twitter. Don't get on. All right? Don't get on. Because they're going to Optic is going to milk the shit out of this. And they have all the right to. They have all the right to, right? If you hate when they win, don't let them win. That's it. Stop complaining. All right? Now I got to deal with the green wall just like you got to deal with the green wall. Now I gotta watch fucking 10 different clips every 20 minutes of this Optic fucking fan page or that Optic fan page or this guy who loves Optic or this guy who's got T2P in his bio or this guy who fucking wants to kiss Scump. Like I gotta watch all their shit on the fucking app, on X, on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok. Delete if you don't want to see the Optic green wall for the next 2 months. Delete everything. Delete it all. All right? And if you got a problem with it, do something about it. Beat them. If you're a player and you got a problem with the green wall, or you got a problem with Optic hosting, or you got a problem because they won and they had home field advantage, all you have to do is win. All you got to do is beat them. Until then, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up and suffer like I got to suffer. All right? Shut up and suffer like I gotta suffer. Now we got the fucking process coming out, right? That's Optic's like documentary that they do after all these events. Gotta deal with that the next fucking 2 weeks. Jesus Christ, we are fucked. We are fucked. But we don't hate over here. Optic did what they were supposed to do. They won. And now they're going to make the haters suffer for it. Now you're going to have to listen and watch all their content for the next 2 months. And every Optic fan has all the right to talk shit about your team because you didn't win and they did. It is what it is. GG's in the fucking chat. GG's in the chat on that. Listen, it is what it is. Shout out to the Green Wall. Congrats to Optic Gaming. You guys did it. On to the next. BO6, we'll see how it goes. Listen. Let's talk about some things here, all right? That was a little rant, me ranting on the green wall. Let's talk about the dark things. Actually, we'll get into that. Let's talk about the dark parts of the green wall, all right? Now, mind you, I've been to events before, getting to watch the green wall in person, right? They're always a rowdy bunch. They love their team, all right? Listen, the green wall Optic fan base, they don't like their team. They love their team. There's a difference. All right? I like the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't love the Milwaukee Bucks. All right? I like them. I'll check their scores every now and then. Oh, when they play. Oh, okay. Might go to a game every now and then, right? Might miss a game. Optic fan base, they love Optic Gaming. They don't miss a game. They know when they play. They have all the merch, right? They know the birthdays of all the players. They know the girlfriends of all the players, right? They know Shotzi's favorite color. They know Dashy's shoe size. All right? You understand that? They know what kind of lotion Kenny uses. Okay? They love their team. It's a different type of admiration. Okay? It's borderline cycle, but they love their team. Okay? Now, what comes with that is players who love their team and go a little overboard. Right? Go a little overboard. What does that mean? We're talking about fans who are obsessed, right? The difference between love and obsession is love, right? I love my team, right? I do things like I watch all their games, right? If I can afford, I'm going to buy some merch, right? I know when they play, right? I cheer for them and only them, right? That's love, right? I love the Packers. I know when the Packers play. I have Packer jerseys. That's the only team I root for in football. Like, that's my team. I love the Packers. Okay? I'm not obsessed with the Packers. Difference. You have Greenwall fans who love the Greenwall, Greenwall fans who love Optic Gaming, but they're not obsessed with Optic. Here's the difference. Here's the difference between obsession and love. Okay? An obsessed fan fills all those boxes, watches all the games, has all the merch, follows only that team. The only difference with the obsessed fan, with the fan that loves their team, the obsessed fan, if you don't love Optic, if you don't like Optic, fuck you. That's the obsessed fan. If you don't like Optic, you don't love Optic, go fuck yourself. Die. That's the obsessed fan. Okay? They're that extreme. The Green Wall has people like that within their ranks. Okay? Within their ranks. An obsessed fan makes the team that they're obsessed about, makes that their whole identity. It's their whole identity. Okay? Now, being a fan of a sports team, right? Like me, like I'm not gonna hold you. When the Packers lose to teams that we should beat, it fucks up my next couple of days for me, right? Because I love my team. Okay? I love my team, right? But it is what it is. You lost, keep it moving. An obsessed fan, if you beat my team, there's a reason for it. The reason could be this player needs to go, or you guys cheated, or fuck you guys, or you think you're better than us, you're not better than us. They're that crazy, right? Listen, at this event, at Champs this past weekend, I got to see a lot of Optic fans who love Optic. And it was beautiful to see. It was beautiful to see. I was leaving the hotel room. I was leaving the hotel, and there was an Optic fan waiting for an Uber, right? I said, bro, how's they going to do today? He's like, I don't know, man. He's like, fuck, dude. He's like, I'm so nervous, blah, blah, blah. Good kid. And then he goes, I just hope they, I hope that I think they're about to play New York, or no, they're about to play Toronto. But he was bigging up Toronto, right? So I'm like, oh, this guy loves his team, but he's respectful. He respects the other teams. Cool. I'm like, oh man, good luck. You know what I mean? He loves his team. That's a beautiful thing to see, right? Fast forward, I get to the venue, and I see some obsessed fans. I saw two obsessed Optic fans who were, it looked like they were trash talking this New York fan. This is Saturday. Trash talking this New York fan. Then they started like getting really close to him. And I'm looking, I'm like, yo, they're going to fucking fight. They might fight. Nothing happened. They got separated, whatever. Those were obsessed Optic fans, right? Come to find out, earlier on the day, there was a fight. I think an Optic fan got arrested, or I don't know. There was a fight. So shit was already popping, right? Shit was already popping. And I'm gonna give you guys the reason why I'm talking about all this. So I'm doing my rounds of the venue. I'm going here, going there, seeing this person, saying that person, say hi, blah, 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 doing that. And I'm going past Optic fans that are just rowdy, right? And I'm not talking rowdy as in let's fucking go, like let's go Optic. I love Optic. Like not that type of rowdy. Like the good rowdy. Like being at the football game rowdy. I'm talking about like, fuck you, you fucking pussy. Fuck Atlanta FaZe. Fuck you. Fuck simp. And then I heard, and then like, fuck Trump. Scraps a fucking fag. Like shit like that. It's like, whoa, dude. Like aggressive. Mind you, I'm not intimidated, right? I know how to fight, right? I'm trained fight. I'm a trained fighter, right? I know how to fight, right? But I can see other people like, whoa, like really kind of caught off guard, right? This was happening all throughout the venue. All throughout the venue. I'm hearing like rude shit. I'm hearing the N-word multiple times. And not by African Americans, right? I'm hearing the N-word, and every time I looked, it just so happened to be a person with an Optic jersey on or some kind of Optic merchandise on. Okay. So the green wall, the guys who are obsessed with Optic were out in full force. They were out in full force. Okay. Now, where am I going with this whole rant I just went on a rant about obsessed Optic fans. This is why I wanted to bring it up. I'm going to pull up a video for you. Listen, if you're on YouTube, you're going to see it. If you're not on YouTube, you should know the video, but you're going to hear the audio regardless. All right, here we go. Let me set this up for you. So I'm going to set this up for you. So here we have the New York Subliners just got done with their game, their match. They're walking. So the way the venue was set up for those of you that weren't there, the venue was the stage was in the middle of the venue, and then there was a long walkway where the players would walk, and then there was railings on each side that separated the fans, and there's a huge walkway for the players, right? So here we have New York Subliners players and coaches walking back to the back, right? So they have to walk by the fans, which is all Optic fans, all right? Listen to what one of these guys says to Sender, one of the coaches for the New York Subliners, who, by the way, was an Optic coach. Listen to what this guy says, all right? Now, this is the guy saying this isn't the guy recording. The guy recording actually uploaded this on Twitter and said he was looking through his videos of the event, heard this in the video. Whoever said these things really got to reevaluate themselves, man. We got to do better. And he's 100% right. So the guy who recorded this was an Optic fan, just a normal Optic fan, right? And he caught a reaction of somebody next to him, right? Or in his area. Wow, listen to what this guy says. This guy starts throwing insults towards Sender, who was an Optic coach. Listen to this. So let me repeat that. Let's hear that again. So you hear one fan go, "I love you, Sender," right? And then you hear another guy go, "You fat fuck, fuck you." All right? All right. So that's disturbing. All right, it's disturbing. Okay. I don't know Sender. Okay. I don't know Sender at all. Never met him, never talked to him. Maybe I haven't DMs, I'm not sure. I don't know Sender like that. But that bothered me. Okay, that bothered me. It bothered me. Okay? Now, that guy who said that to Sender, right? You fat fuck. Fuck you. That is an obsessed Optic fan. Okay? That's an obsessed fan. That's the type of guy that'll punch you if you say Optic sucks. Right? And it's funny, but it's not. It's funny because if you think about that, he's got to be in his 20s, maybe mid-20s, right? It's a grown man, okay? This person has made his entire life, his entire life is obsessed with a team who plays a video game, okay? Right? Now, if we take ourselves away from competitive Call of Duty, if we're just an average fan who doesn't even watch this shit, but just is watching this video, so you're telling me, guy, you're a fan of a Call of Duty team, and you're calling another person a fat fuck you. Who's the loser there? Think about who's the loser there. Who's the loser there? Think about where your life has to be that obsessed with a video game team enough for you to call a person who makes a living off of it, all while you don't. You're just a fan, and you're calling that person who makes a living off this game a fat fuck you. Imagine how his life is right now for him to stoop that low. Think about where his life has to be to have that much obsession and hate for somebody who used to play for the team that you love and jack off to. Think about where your life has to be to do that. Think about that. Think about that. Let's listen to that again. Let's listen to that again. I want to listen to that again. Hold on. Let's listen to that again. Hold on a minute. So think about that kid. Think about that kid. All right. You're an obsessed fan of a video game team, okay? And you're that obsessed. I'm talking about you have the type of obsession where you probably jack off to Optic, right? You probably do, okay? And this person that you're throwing this insult to used to coach the team that you jack off to, but you're that obsessed over that team that you're willing to throw that type of insult to somebody who's doing what you would love to do to get paid to be around a video game and around video game players. They get paid to do that. And you're just a fan. Okay? Imagine where that guy's life has to be to have that type of hate and obsession to say some stuff like that. It's sad. It's sad and depressing is what it is. Now, the entire community reacted to this video, right? Everybody reacted to this video, okay? Everyone did. Okay? Everyone did. Rightfully so. Right? Because that guy, Sender, does not deserve that. He doesn't deserve that, right? At all. Now, there was one response that I was waiting for. One response. I didn't care about everybody else responding. I didn't give a shit about none of that. The only response that I gave a shit about was from Optic Hex, right? The leader, right? The founder, the big dog of Optic. I wanted to know what he thought about this. And this is what Optic Hex retweeted. Unacceptable. This isn't trash talk. This is straight up disrespect. Troy is a friend of mine, and my blood boils hearing this shit. Do better. He's 100% right. 100% right. Hex is 100% right on that. But he missed the mark. Hex, this is what you say. Hey, you're not a fan of the green wall. You're not a fan of Optic. We don't carry ourselves in that manner. All right? Optic fans don't stoop to that level. We don't need you a part of the green wall if you're going to do shit like that. In fact, if you're the person who said that, you're not an Optic fan. We disown you. Keep away from our events. All right? If you're that Optic fan who said that, you are no longer a part of the green wall. Hex, that would have made a difference. Because it's true. You don't need somebody like that a part of your fan base. Okay? That kid, that person, that's a man. That man, that's a grown-ass man saying those things. Okay? That's a dangerous man. That's hate. That's hate. That person doesn't need to be around events. That person doesn't need to be around everybody else who actually loves their team, but is respectful to the other teams. Right? That's what I wanted to hear from X. That's nice. This response is cute. Right? It's cute. But that's what I wanted to hear from Hex. Okay? Now, you might say, oh, Garza, what do he can't do nothing about it. Bro, when you have that much of a say so, and you have that much power like Hex does, you can, bro. Okay? If you're Hex, you need to, and this is for the good, not just for the look of the brand, right? Right? It's already too late as far as the fans, right? It's too late. It's well known that Optic fans are by far the most toxic fan base in esports, right? It's well known. Okay, it is what it is. All right. Now, it shouldn't be like that. It is, but it shouldn't be like that, right? I want to see a Scump. I want to see a Hex. I want to see a fucking a Shotzi, a Pred. I want to see statements like, "Hey, we respect our opponents, even if we're beefing with them. We don't say shit like that, especially to somebody who used to be a part of us. And if you stoop down to that level, you're not green wall. You're not a part of the green wall. We don't want you as a fan. We don't want your money. Keep your money. All right? Keep it." That's what I want to see. That's the kind of shit I want to see. All right? But it is what it is. It happened. It's over with. It's over with. That shit made me depressed, bro. It made me depressed seeing shit like that. I don't like seeing shit like that. I don't like people getting bullied. That's what I felt like it was. All right? That's what I felt like it was. Okay? If you're listening, if you're which I highly doubt it, if you're the person who said that, hey, listen, I need you to go into your fucking bathroom, turn the light on, okay? Look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what the fuck was I doing? What the fuck was I doing? Because you should be ashamed of yourself. And then you need to reevaluate your entire life. Okay? Your entire life. Because there's no way somebody that is comfortable with themselves, somebody that is living a righteous life, there's no way somebody who's following and doing things that they're supposed to be doing is having that type of reaction. There's no way. No way. No way. So listen, I hope you do better. I hope you do better. And I hope you reevaluate. fuck it. Go to church. Go talk to a therapist. You obviously need therapy. Talk to somebody. Because holy shit, that's some scary shit. That is some scary shit. All right, we're off that. Enough of that. Now let's go to quick announcements. You guys know the off season has not started yet. Next up, we got the Esports World Cup. We have an announcement from G2 Esports, which is Roker, Minnesota Roker. I'm pretty sure Minnesota Roker is going to be changing their branding. They announced their team for the Esports World Cup, which is going to be Accuracy, former LAG players, Estriel, and Diamond Con. They're going to be joining Accuracy and Lins. So that's the G2 Esports Call of Duty team for the Esports World Cup. On top of that, the Vegas Legion officially announced their roster for the Esports World Cup. That team will be Geo, Attach, Nero, and Fame. I actually like that team. I think that team might do something. They might do something. Maybe. We'll see. And then we had the Boston Breach with their quick announcement introducing their Esports World Cup Call of Duty team, which would be Snoopy, of course, Awakening, Purging, and Cammy joining Snoopy. We'll see. I think the big talking point is going to be whether Snoopy and Purge, how that duo is going to exist. We'll see, man. We'll see how that goes. Also, wanted to give a quick shout out to the Challenger Champs, Lore Gaming. Shout out to Lore Gaming. Happy for you guys. The Challenger Champs were Paul X, Uli, Turio, and Arcides. They will, of course, be at the Esports World Cup along with three other Challenger teams. Every Call of Duty team other than LAG will be attending. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. $1.8 million on the line. Single elimination, I think it is, which is crazy. That's crazy. 1.8 million, and you're telling me a single elimination? I think it's single elimination best of 5, I think, if my information is correct. Something like that, but it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah. So that's it. That's what we got to look forward to next as far as MW3. The off season is not here yet. We got about 2.5 more weeks before the World Cup, and then that'll be the last event of MW3. I'm interested to see how that's going to plan, how this is going to pan out at the World Cup. Obviously, Optic is coming off the champs win. You would think they're going to go in as the favorites to win the World Cup, but who knows? Also, kind of like, if you're Optic, do you even want to go? Like, right? I guess, I mean, the money, I guess, but damn, man. Listen, people are going to be tired, bro. Players are going to be tired, exhausted. You're going off a champ. I mean, other than fucking Legion and those guys, right? The bottom teams and Boston, you're going to be tired, bro. You're going to be fucking exhausted. That's a lot of Call of Duty. The off season is going to be like, what, 2 months? BO6 drops in October, right? Ain't going to be no off season this year. No off season at all. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. We got the Esports World Cup coming up here in like 2 weeks. After that'll be the official end of the MW3 Call of Duty season, competitive Call of Duty season. We got BO6 coming up. Obviously, we got the beta here in like a month or so, 2 months or something like that. Interesting times. Listen, guys, hope you enjoyed my little podcast back. We'll be back later, maybe later this week. Again, I'm trying to get guests, man, but you guys know how that is. It's fucking annoying as shit. People are egoing the fuck out of me. Some people say they're going to do it, then they don't want to. They want to do it no face cam. They want to do only audio. So it's interesting. But either way, I'm going to stay more active on this podcast with you guys. Try to give you guys at least one episode a week leading into the next season. So hope you guys enjoy yourselves tonight. Listen, again, you guys, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or you're listening on Spotify, please drop a like and please drop a follow. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure to subscribe and rate it. Rate the fucking podcast, but subscribe more importantly. If you follow on Spotify and you subscribe on Apple iTunes, anytime I drop a new episode, it will pop up on your phone immediately. All right, it helps me out. It'll help you out to not miss any content. Again, I got some things lined up for you guys. I think you're gonna like it a lot. If you're watching on YouTube, I appreciate you. Make sure you drop a like, comment. And make sure to subscribe. Again, if you subscribe, when I drop new episode, it'll pop up right on your motherfucking phone. All right? Have a good night. God bless you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. It's Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. Then we got the weekend again. The vibes are high. Summer's still going. Enjoy yourselves. Football season's almost here. I love you guys. Be nice to each other. And we out. Gunshots for the homies. Why is it so fucking loud? We out.